C.J. McCollum, who is a plus 69 during the Blazers' 5-game win streak. That includes the first 4 games of a 7-game trip through the Eastern Conference, which takes them to Toronto tonight against the red-hot Raptors on their home floor. That Raptor team went 8-1 in the month of February and showing no signs of slowing down as they try to catch the Milwaukee Bucks. What are you looking for when you think of these two teams and how well they're playing tonight?
Well, when you're looking at Portland, you're obviously looking at that backcourt to set the tempo. You're looking at CJ and Dame to step up, really get their points, do their thing, create a big enough problem so that some of these other guys are able to get off. We talk about Nurkic inside, or if you're talking about Rodney Hood, anybody else. But let those guards create the problem, let everybody else eat off of them. And then, of course, with Toronto, they have so many different pieces, so many different ways they can attack you. We know they want to, Kawhi's the guy for that team. He's the head of the snake. He's the quiet leader. But then you have guys like Pascal Siakam that have stepped up, Serge Ibaka having a great year, and you can't forget about Kyle Lowry and what he brings to that table as far as leadership and toughness.
I look at Portland and say, have we overlooked Portland?
We have.
You look
Every
at the
year.
standings.
Won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
In the standings, what they're like a half a game behind OKC. I think they're 1 game in the loss column, maybe tied in wins, 38-23, and I think OKC is 38-22. And just like B. Wood said, we kind of
same record.
Same record now.
Yeah.
Yep. And we know that backcourt, but I think right now is the Nurkic and Cantor is giving me something. The Rodney Hood, Seth Curry, the others. Maurice Harkless is starting to play good basketball. I think he's finally understood after the contract. We saw him just be that junkyard dog, guarding everybody, but he still can score the basketball. I like the young guy coming out. All their young guys are starting to play better. I think the others are starting to find their roles along with playing with these guys. And I think CJ and also Dame are doing a better job of getting these other guys some shots.
Well, the questions with them the last few years have been, who's the third scorer, for one, right? Your backcourt generally is productive. And what can the bench give you? And that's been a little better lately. No Cantor, by the way, tonight because the game's in Toronto and he's got concerns about being arrested because of this situation.
That's never a good thing.
No,
not
but
at all.
because of his outspoken criticism of the Turkish
And I think the
government.
Raptors, Pascal Siakam has just been phenomenal. Sometimes you look at young guys, you go, well, they go up here, they have a dip. He has just been straight going up. I mean, he has a chance to be an all-star, I think, next year for sure.
I think at this point, the prohibitive favorite for most improved player this season, Pascal Siakam.
Swipe the Fox.
Blazers have won 4 in a row by nearly 12 points per game.
De'Aaron Fox is in there
so far.
I think so.
Hey, you know who else in there? D'Angelo Russell.
Do you think so?
For most improved, D'Angelo. Hey, you go from you go from being a cast off with the Lakers to being an all-star. He'd be the only guy from the most improved list that's an all-star. Just some food for thought since Matt wanted to take his all-star.
I thought that was coming.
I do not want to. I'm happy for him. I don't want to take anybody's all-star appearance away from them. I'm not that guy.
We're not taking anything away from Portland either. They won those 5 games in a row, playing some very good basketball. And you made an interesting point. People aren't talking about Boston this year. And it's almost like the little boy that cried wolf. We've seen this team play very good and then get to the playoffs and disappear.
Portland, you mean? Right?
Yes, Portland, yes.
You said Boston.
You said
I said Boston?
Yeah. You did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad you caught me. That's why you're my veteran. You won't let me.
I thought I heard something
but no,
different,
you're totally right.
Yeah, you won't let me go down the wrong path. But that's the thing with these Blazers. We've seen them have good stretches before. We've seen them finish in the top 5 or 6 in the Western Conference, and then especially after last year, finishing as the 3rd seed and getting swept by the Pelicans. A lot of people do not believe in the Blazers. So the Blazers, as well as they're playing right now, they're going to have to continue playing well, taking it to the playoffs, and they got to win a playoff series or 2 to get people to take the Portland Trail Blazers serious. Right now, a lot of people view them as just a team that does pretty good in the regular season, and then they go home.
4-5 right now. If it ended today and they were the 4th seed and Houston's the 5, you think they can beat Houston?
I think, could they beat them? Yes, but I would probably bet on Houston.
Same, I'm with him too.
Probably would too.
Yep.
And that's the problem. As good as Portland is playing, we would all bet on Houston because we don't really have the belief in Portland. They have the talent. Now they have to go out there and prove it.
And there are some teams, and I don't know that I necessarily think Portland is one of those teams, but their recent record would suggest as much. Some teams are just built better for the regular season.
Yeah, and they definitely wasn't built for the playoffs because they had no bench.
Right.
I mean, and, we always said a team needs a third option. They didn't have a third option and no bench. That is extremely hard to put that much pressure on 2 guys, especially 2 small guards.
Perimeter guys.
That have to carry the load for an entire series. But I think now maybe those bigs can help them win a series.
Yeah, I agree with Smitty. When you watch what happened to them last year in the playoffs, the Pelicans just basically focused in on those two guards, whether they were trying to ISO or run screen and roll. They would trap the screen and roll at times and force those guys to give up the ball. And they would basically say, we're not worried about Harkless or Aminu or any of these other guys getting wide open shots because we don't believe in a 7-game series those guys can beat us. But now with Nurkic playing better, adding Cantor, adding somebody like Rodney Hood, those guys can hit enough buckets to give those guards space. So it could be different this year, but they still have to prove it. I'm looking.
Oh,
Smitty, what you breaking over there?
No, that ain't me.
Man, come on.
It happened between us.
Matt, was that you?
Wasn't me.
Which one of y'all
Something
breaking?
going on.
Which one is that y'all breaking the set? It's coming out your check.
Something down there.
It's coming out your check. Yeah,
Something went on around there.
You kept making a lot of noise. I'm trying to make my points. Okay, mess up my train of thought. But back to what I was saying.
It's a ghost.
Okay, I look forward to the Portland Trail Blazers proving myself and everybody else wrong.
That was the Blazers. They were mad at you. That's what
that's what it was. I look forward to the Trailblazers proving myself and everybody wrong and winning a couple of playoff series. Because I want to see them take the next step.
I root for those guys.
I want to see them take the next
because
step.
they play so hard, CJ and Dame, and that organization they've been trying.
Yeah.
And I think now they have some personnel to maybe get over the hump.
They've done a lot of things right. It's easy to root for teams who go about things the right way. By the way, Marc Gasol will play his 7th game as a Raptor tonight.
He's starting, right?
I don't have that in front of me. Is he starting tonight? He is starting. I'm told he is starting tonight.
For Serge Ibaka. I just want to know if it's hurt or is just why
he started the other night. They've kind of gone back and forth with it. And
I like Mark coming off the bench. Not that he doesn't have starters talent, and I like Serge starting. I think if you Nick Nurse, and obviously he knows his team better than us, would, but I like Serge starting, and I like Marc Gasol, and that's not saying Serge is a better player. Marc Gasol is not. I think it's just a better fit, and it keeps Serge engaged. I think Mark can come out and still be Mark with that second unit.
Well, he did some of that with Valanciunas and Ibaka as well, and most of it was just basically matchup stuff. You've got Nurkic in town, so maybe you want the bigger body Gasol on him. I don't know if that's his.
I don't know either. I just want to see.
Yeah, I'm with Smitty. I like Ibaka starting. Gives you the ability to switch everybody because Ibaka can guard perimeter players, and he can give you that presence at the rim. And then I think that just something about starting, I think that energizes Ibaka.
It does.
You're going to get the most out of him. So with him playing so well right now, I don't want to jeopardize that. I know Marc Gasol can fit in a lot of different roles, but with Ibaka playing so well, I don't want to rock the boat.
Runner.
Yeah, I want to keep him playing well, and I want to keep him hungry.
Raptors coming off a February in which they went 8-1. That's pretty good.
No, it's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not at all.
Scoring 117, giving up 108 or so, and the problem is that the team they're chasing just doesn't lose very often. So as things stand, the Raptors are still 2.5 games back in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Milwaukee is the best team in the league for a reason. Those guys have played some excellent basketball. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. The Raptors are going to put pressure on Milwaukee all year long to continue to play at a high level if they want that number one spot in the Eastern Conference.
You know, and I think he's found his groove, and a lot was put on him for our scoring when it was him and DeMar DeRozan. I think right now he can come out and get 16 points and 10 assists because of the play of Pascal Siakam. But if Siakam hadn't developed into a scorer that he's become so far, they were going to need a lot more from Kyle Lowry as far as the scoring, you know, as attribute for the Toronto Raptors. I'm getting all mixed up right now, but I like the way Kyle is getting guys easy shots and making sure guys run in. Pascal Siakam is really benefiting the way Kyle is seeing the floor.
Siakam's emergence and Gasol's addition could really change things for Lowry in the playoffs and make this team a very different-looking group as far as the postseason.
You like the addition of Jeremy Lin?
Yes, I do. I think you just need that back because we talk about Kyle Lowry. He's had some playoff missteps and some moments where he hasn't been himself. And so you have a veteran like Jeremy Lin that can just step in for you, give you some quality minutes until if that were to happen again. I don't foresee it. I think Kyle has moved past that, hopefully. But you have a guy like Jeremy Lin that can step in for you. So I like that pickup. I like Gasol too. I agree with you. I like him off the bench, but I think he can come in with that second unit and really do some things as far as you can give.
Especially with his passing.
Yeah, well, he's great passing. He can space out the defense. He's a very smart basketball player. And so I really like where this team is right now. I actually have them as the favorites to come out of the East because I like, once again, the roles are clearly defined. Mm-hmm. We know this is Kawhi's the big dog. Lowry's after that. The role players play their role. Guys like Danny Green, Ibaka, Siakam. Everybody plays their role. They play to their strengths.
Toronto coming out of the East. Got it.
Yep. Mark it. Put it down. Write it down. Circle it, Matt. Circle it.